Hi everyone, it's the Photo Techie. I hope you're all doing well. Today's video, I am sharing my review of the Exknight Leverback attachment. This is by far the cheapest way I found to get some back buttons, well in this case levers, on the standard Dualsense controller. Is this thing worth it? Should you even consider buying it? Let's find out. So the price of this device is $25.99 here in UK, and it's just one piece. There are no separate accessories. It's a very simple design. You literally just clamps onto your controller like so, and you have these two clips underneath. They fasten very securely, and it does get there very snugly, not many creaks or anything, which is actually very good. Now what we have here is like a mechanical design. So on the left hand side we have the square button, on the right we have the cross. Now ideally for Call of Duty I always keep crouch on the left and jump on the right, so I did have to go to the settings in my PlayStation and swap these buttons around. You can do that in the controller accessibility options, where you can just make this, but in the system you can make it so this will be circle and this is square. There are other ways you can go into the Call of Duty settings and do it that way, so you still have, like, you know, normal settings there, but I just prefer doing it just in the system, so this controller remembers that. Let's get the negatives out of the way first, and then we'll talk about the positives. The negative, of course, like I just said, we have to swap this button around. You know, all these years playing Call of Duty, you are sort of like accustomed to pressing this for reload. So telling yourself that you have to press circle for reload was a bit of a thing. The other thing is these levers, you know, especially the one on the right, you sort of push down a little bit. When you push it down, it sort of moves up. This side moves up. So if your finger is here, you're pushing it down. Imagine if you're using triggers, sometimes you get this feedback on this side. A little bit annoying initially, but once I adjusted my grip, it wasn't that bad. The other thing is, of course, is restricting the access to the options and the share button. Little bit more recessed, but you can get to them easily. The PS button is sort of behind this this lever thing, so you can only reach it with your right thumb. Going in with the left thumb, it's a bit of a pain. Of course, it's cutting into the touchpad. All these things, to be honest, very minor for me. The other thing, bit of a negative, is, like, you know, the levers at the back. There's a bit of a play, and the way the left one moves is a little bit different. So you have to pull in with your finger on the left one to actuate the button on the face, and on the right you have to pull down. Now once I got adjusted with this, I actually got used to it. So what I do is I rest my finger sort of pulling in on the right hand side, because I grip, so my finger sort of like pulls in, and when I need to press it, I just push it down, or I push down on it. So very easy for me to do that. On the left hand side I just have to be careful. I don't have any, I did in the beginning, I did have, you know, accidental actuations. Not anymore, since I got adjusted to it. I just keep it like this and I can easily do the left. So that's my crouch, very easy for me now. And the other thing is, when I'm moving the left stick, sometimes my thumb will touch this lever here, and in the beginning it was a bit of a you know, annoyance that, oh, what is this, the strange feeling, especially while you moving around and stuff. I got used to that very quickly. Now when I came to PlayStation platform from Xbox, which is very recent, by the way, I've always been on the Xbox, I switched to the bumpers, the L1 and R1 for aiming and shooting. So if you are somebody who use them for shooting, this is very good. So it doesn't get in the way. It's very good. When I was using the triggers, this used to throw me off a lot. But using the bumpers instead of the triggers, I have to say that I really like this grip. Now, one thing I will tell you, if I was to make this review after using this a couple of times, I probably would have said, this is a waste of money. Don't even think about it. Now, this is what I mean. So once I got adjusted to this, I had like good, at least a week, more than a week worth of playtime on this, and I'm well adjusted to this. I am doing things, using guns, crouching up, jumping. I can do all that on the fly now, and I am pretty used to this. I have to say, I am really getting impressed by this, because for the price, there is no other option in the market. So I do think the device does, you know, the positive of this device, the biggest positive is it does what it says on the box. It is giving you the functionality for two buttons. There are compromises, of course, because of the, there is nothing else on the market and the way they've designed it. I wish it was going, but then imagine if this was going on this side, then you'd be blocking it, but so you are swapping the buttons around. But it's giving you that 2-button functionality. If you don't want to spend, the upwards of £150 or £200, like, the DualSense Edge, amazing controller, by the way, but it's a lot of money. If you don't have the money, this is giving you basically that functionality. It's giving you those 2 buttons at the back. And the big positive is it works. It actually it does work. Once you get used to the grip and everything, I personally really like using this. I haven't had that many negatives ever since I got used to it. I'm using this more and more. I do have DualSense Edge, by the way, but there's some strange things going on, and I will be making a separate video on that note, that why it might not be the controller for everyone. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, if you are in the market for cheap options, unfortunately Sony have decided to make a really expensive option, a full Pro controller, instead of making those 2 back buttons that they made for the DualShock 4. This is the only option, guys. And I would definitely say, definitely not waste of money, but just be mindful. There will be sacrifices made if you do get onto this. Another thing for me is, I forgot to mention earlier, so sometimes, when you are running or doing stuff, even with controllers like the Elite Series 2 or any other controller that has back buttons, I actually want to press the face button, because maybe there is a time jump, you going to jump onto a ledge or something, that is just more accurate pressing with your thumb. So the good thing here is you can actually do that. So even though you have this lever on top, but you can actually press on the face, the buttons, if you want to. So it's only the X anyway, because I'm always pressing for reload, so I never press this. But the X, you can actually press it. The other thing is, I wish the levers at the back were a little bit smaller. They are a bit long. So when I'm gripping it, it sort of sometimes touches my ring fingers. But it's something that I got used to very, very easily. And it doesn't bother me that much. Now I do use the high-rise control freak on the right-hand side. So that's why I don't, my grip is a little bit different. I sort of grip, move up a little bit, so my hands sort of go down. And the left-hand side, I just got used to of just putting my hands on the other side, the fingers down. And yeah, I've used this extensively, and the short thing is, it works. So if you are looking for a cheap option, consider this. If I've left anything out, please do leave a comment. I do my best to reply to everything, every comment I get. And going forward, I will be trying out the extreme rate kits, because I've just found the BDM 30 versions are out, and I can find one on Amazon here locally. So that's my next thing to get and see. It's a bit more expensive than this. It's like double the price of this. So I'll be checking that out, and I will hopefully make a comparison of this and that as well. I hope there was some useful info in this short video. If anything I left out, please do leave a comment, and I will reply to you. Thanks a lot for watching this one, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.